Hello, hello. Now is my voice is clear? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Now it is clear. So there was some technical glitch. Now it have been simplified. So let's begin from where we have left. We are discussing about this projectile motion question, and we have reached till this point that it will have the same velocity in x direction and some velocity in y direction. Let's analyze one by one. I can say if there is no acceleration in x direction, can I simply say that velocity in x direction will be same constant, that is equals to 20, and velocity in y direction only I think I have to calculate how I'll be writing uy minus of gt. And how I'm writing uy is 0 because there is no initial velocity in y direction, negative y direction. I will say simply this velocity is 10 and time taken is 2 seconds, because after 2 seconds obviously I am analyzing, that means it will become minus of 20. This is also 20. So what is the resultant? I can say simply it is what, 20 root 2. 20 root 2 meter per second. 20 root 2 meter per second, and acceleration will be 10 meter per second square. Option 4 will be the correct answer. Clear? समझ में आया? Fine. Move to the next one. This one, interesting question. Input output waveforms. Let's see how to solve this kind of questions. Firstly, understand one is higher input, one is actually I can say that one is higher, one is lower. Or higher and lower, how we represent in semiconductor devices or in the logic gates, higher is represented as 1 and lower is represented as 0. So A, B, C, three outputs are there and you have to identify. See, now what I can say, this if it is line at is at 0, that means this is lower output, and if the line is at 5, that means it is higher output or a higher input. Okay, and according to that, C is also there. Now you have to judge which one of the options are correct. Four input outputs are given and you have to judge it. Let's begin. This is the logic gate that you have. Firstly, what I can say, this is what kind of gate? This is AND gate, this is NAND gate, and this is OR gate. All the properties are clear. If all the properties are clear, let's start to analyze. Firstly, first one, what you will say, that firstly let's take any of the input 0 0 0, correct? 0 0 0. Okay, let's take 0 0 0. First anyways, the first input is 0, second input is 0, and the third input is 1. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 1, the first case. So I can say this will become, this will make it, this also 0, this also 0, this is 1, this is 0. 0 into 0, 0, that means here output will be coming 0. 0 into 1 is 0, but not get, that means it will make it 1. And if any one of them is made as 1, that means what I can say, the output will be 1 because it is a OR gate, correct? So can I say, if any one of B and C are I can say 0, then always this output is what, 1. If any one of them are 0, output will always be 1. This is what I can analyze in general. So I can say if always any one of them is 0, see, any one of them are 0, here also 0, here 1 is 0, here this is 0, here this B is 0, here B is 0, here again B is 0, here C is 1. So I can say that B and C, any one of them are always 0, and if any one of them are always 0, I can say that here the output will be always coming 1, and if here the output is always coming 1, that means output is always 1. That means which option will be correct? Option C. The output is always as 1. Otherwise you can simplify, but it will take a lot of time to do that. But always try to find the some points from where you can approach the question. Clear? Next one. A ball of mass 0.15 kg is dropped from a height 10 meter. Okay, and it strikes the ground and rebounds to the same height. The magnitude of impulse imparted to the ball. You have to calculate impulse. What is impulse? Change in momentum is called as impulse. Now just simply calculate impulse is equals to change in momentum, that is mass into V final minus of V initial. What is V final and V initial? Because it is reaching to the same place, that means I can say that final velocity and initial velocity both are same. That means simply I can say 2 times of velocity. Mass, now put the mass is 0.15 kg into 2 times of. Further, what is the velocity that you can say? From 10 meter it is dropped now, that means the velocity will be root under 2 into 10 into 10, correct? So it will become 0.3 into 100 200 root under 200. So what you can say for root under 200, it should be written as 0.3 into 10 into root under 2, that means 3 into root 2, that means nearly 1.4 4, 1.2, that means 4.2 will be the answer. Simple. You just have to be very active in calculation. That's it. Otherwise, question is nothing. This question, very interesting question. Yeah. Very interesting question. Rotational equilibrium. You have to tell, if you read the question, you will understand what will be this mass m suspended from the rod at 160 centimeter. This mark is already mentioned here. Find the value of m such that the rod is in equilibrium. You have to tell that rod will be in equilibrium. What should be the condition of m? That means what rotational equilibrium I am talking about. Normal equilibrium, a lot of time we have discussed. Yeah, it was correct. B option. Normal equilibrium means what? Net force is equals to 0. The net acting force is equals to 0. Chitrangivi. No, this is not the name for. There is a link that will be given to you. Okay, in the description box. From there, you can check out for the crash course. All the courses that are, a lot of courses are there. One for KCT or one for NEET. So different courses are there. There you can check out about on the app. All those courses are available. Chitrangivi is not any course that I don't think so. Okay. Understand this question, what this question is saying, and all of you I guess know about how to write torque. Torque is simply was check the force of application, what is the force of application that is present, and check the perpendicular distance from where you are writing that. These are the two basic things that you always have to understand. So it's your choice from wherever you want to write it. I will say that always write from the balance point or the hinge point. From this point I will be writing the forces from this point. Let's mention all the forces first and then see what I will be mentioning. See, rotational equilibrium you are saying now, correct. That means this hinge point is at 40 centimeter. If this hinge point is at 40 centimeter, this is what 2 kg mass. That means it will be pulling it in downward direction, and at what distance this will be applying that tension force. Can you say from this it will be applying this as 20 centimeter, one force itself. Now second is normal about mg force, because this plank would also have some mass. What is the mass of the plank? Length of the plank is 200 centimeter and mass is 500 gram. If the mass is 500 gram, where it will be applied? It will be applied at the center of mass. Center of mass will be, if this is 200 meter, can you say half will be at 100 meter? If it is at 100 meter, from this point, from this 40 centimeter, what will be the distance of that mg force? Can you say that will be how much? 60 centimeter. That will be how much? 60 centimeter. Very good. Come to the other force. Other force is still acting. Yes, it is acting. I can say about this one, this force mg. It is unknown, so I can write it as mg. Correct. At what distance it is acting? From this hinge point, I can say from the initial point it is acting at 160 centimeter. It is acting at 160 centimeter. Then not subtract 40 from here. That means what will be the distance? 120 centimeter. I have mentioned all the distances and about all the forces. Now I just have to write the equation. How will be writing the equation? Find the directions. R cross F will always give you the direction, or also you can understand from the sense of rotation. This much basics I guess you would be knowing. How to find the torque? R cross F. This is the hinge point R cross F outside the plane. What about the mg force? R cross F inside the plane. What about this unknown force? R cross F, it is also inside the plane. That means what I can say, the net torque that is inside the plane is equals to net torque that is outside the plane. This is the basic equation that we will be writing. It is a good question. I am again telling. So how you will be writing? This force will be how much? 2g into what is the perpendicular distance from the hinge point? You can say this will be 20 centimeter. This will be 20 centimeter. Now what are the forces that were the torque that was giving you inside the plane rotation? This is mg force. Mg force. What will be the distance from the hinge point? 60 centimeter. How much the distance is? 60 centimeter. Plus what about this? I shouldn't write it as mg because the mg will be now this one. You can write this as mass is given as 500 gram now. Uniform rod. So make it 0.5 g. That means 5 newton. Isn't it? 5 newton. So make it 5 newton plus, now this force that is unknown force, that is mg, into at what distance? It is 120 centimeter. Now solve this linear equation. Only one variable is there, one variable, one equation. Easily you can have your answer. Very good question. Very good question of writing. Take more time after this discussion and take this question. Try to solve it. Try to, from different points, try to solve it. From this initial point, try to solve it. If you are taking from the initial point, what is the extra force that will be coming? then you have to mention about this normal force as well, because this hinge will be applying a normal force in the upward direction. That is very obvious in the FBT. Okay, so one more will be there. That's why I've taken from the hinge point. Hinge point, whenever you are taking, you can neglect the normal reaction. Clear? Next one, optics question. Let's solve it. It is also very interesting question. Some good questions are there in 2021. I will say, as compared to 2023 and 2024, a much better paper was 2021. A point object is placed at a distance of 60 centimeter. What is the distance? 60 centimeter from the convex lens of focal length 30 centimeter. Draw the diagram. This is 30 centimeter. Some object is placed here. Okay, 60 centimeter. What are the given values? 40 centimeter distance, final image would be formed. You have to tell that where the final image will be formed. Correct? We will not worry about how many combinations are present. We only take one at a time. That is how we have solved in the class also. So I will say, firstly, there is a lens. That means I have to apply lens formula. That is the most basic one. The first phenomena, I will apply lens formula. What is the formula? UF divided by U plus F. Now always you take the direction of incident ray as positive. That means this direction will become negative. Negative of how much? Minus of 60. Focal length of convex lens, it is 30 divided by minus of 60 plus of 30. When you will solve it, how much it will become? Can you say it will become minus of 30? Minus of 30, it will give you how much? Can you say it will give you plus of 60 centimeter? That means first image is forming where? At a distance of 60 centimeter. Now draw the diagram. Drawing diagram in this kind of questions are very important. This is the lens from here plus positive real image of 60 centimeter. Image I1. That means if this distance is 40 centimeter from the mirror, how much the distance will be? 20 centimeter. Now this real image that is formed by convex lens, now it will behave like a virtual object for the mirror. Now it will behave like a virtual object for the mirror. Correct? Now if the distance of object is 20 centimeter, on the other side the image will be formed, that is I2 will be formed here at a distance of 20 centimeter. That will be a real image. It is a property of plane mirror. Plane mirror, you know the property that distance of image will be equal to distance of object. Correct? Hi Rahul. Next one. Now still it is not done, because now light rays will be coming on the other side. Correct? That means now what I will do, I will take the direction of incident ray positive. That means I will say this direction will become now positive and this direction will become now negative. Correct? Now understand that how you will be applying. Again the same formula, V is equals to UF divided by U plus F. Now how you will be writing U? I will say this direction is positive. That means this direction, that is this I2 is behaving like an object. And at how much distance? 20 centimeter. That means you will be writing what? Minus of 20 into focal length. Focal length is how much? Plus of 30 divided by minus 20 plus of 30. That means how much you will saying? Effectively 10. This is cancelled. How much you will say? Minus of 60 centimeter. Minus of 60 centimeter. That means again the image will coincide with the image 1. I1 and I3 are forming at the same point. That means which option you can make here? Correct? 20 centimeter from the lens, no. 30 centimeter from the lens, no. 30 centimeter from the plane mirror, it would no. 20 centimeter from the plane mirror, correct. This is at the distance of 20 centimeter from the plane mirror, where your third image will be forming. Is it clear? It was a good question also. Okay, it was a good learning question. You can learn a lot of things from these questions. The optics, good standard question. You can solve it. Fine. Let's see the next one. A step down transformer. Every year we are following a pattern that every year the question is coming from the transformer. So please remember all the concepts of the transformer, then only go to the exam. Small topic but yet important. A step down transformer connected to an AC mains supplied 220 volt is made to operate at 11 volt and 44 watt lamp. Ignoring power loss. Power loss is ignored. That means what I can say for ideal transformer. Okay. And you have to calculate what is the current in the primary circuit. What is the current in the primary circuit? There are two kind of circuit, primary and secondary. Primary is also called as input and secondary is called as output. So if there is no power loss, how we used to write this equation? We used to write it as ES, that is the secondary side, it is equals to EP, IP. And output is operating at 44 watt. Already the power is given, and input you can say how much voltage is there, 220, and how much current is there, that is what you have to calculate. So just calculate it. It will be IP will be equals to 44 divided by 220. Now calculations, cut it by 11, that means 4 divided by 20, it will be 0.2, 0.2 ampere. 1 by 5, 0.2, correct now? Which option is coming correct? Option will be coming correct. Simple. Transformer, again and again the questions are coming from here. Solve this question. Current electricity, direct distribution and inverse distribution. What is followed in resistance circuit? It is always inverse distribution of current in resistor circuit. I will tell you what is that kind of distribution. Directly you can write. Okay, I will tell you a trick. Let's read the question. Three resistors are there, R1, R2 and R3 connected as shown. Okay, the ratio of I3 to I1 you have to calculate. Ratio of I3 to I1 in terms of the ratios used in the circuit. Okay, four options are given. Don't worry. If you want to write I2, how it is got separated, now understand. It is always inversely separated. That means, what is the meaning? What is the total ratios of this combination? Can you say R2 plus R3? And you want to calculate R2. R2 is passing through, sorry, I2 current is passing through which resistance? R2. But it is inversely separation always there. Otherwise, you can follow the basic step. I am telling you how to write it. So you will take R3, and what fraction from where it is coming? I can say that I1 is equals to I2 plus I3 now. So from which fraction it is coming? I1. This is what how you can directly write the current I2. Next one, I3. How you can write I3? I3 can be simply written as R2 divided by the total resistance, that is R2 plus R3 into the from which fraction it is coming? I1 simply. So I have taken it. Now whatever it is they are asking, I3 divided by I1. Divide by I1. I1 cancel. What will be the answer? R3 divided by R2 plus R3. I3, okay, sorry. I3 you want to take. So, 2 I3. Take the ratio. I1 cancel. R2 divided by R2 plus R3. R2 divided by R2 plus R3. Option B. Correct answer. Clear? So, Mara. Next one. Again, magnetism, Lorentz force. QVB. Again, the concept is on that. Charge is given 1. Velocity is given. Force is given. Okay. What will be the complete explanation for B? And what is the result that you know? Force is equals to Q V cross B. But this time you don't have to calculate the force. What you have to calculate is the magnetic field. Is what you have to calculate magnetic field. How you will be calculating magnetic field? Now understand. It is 1. Now you have to assume a variable. Otherwise used X, Y, Z. But here is a trick. That first two I and J, I and J, I and J, I and J are always same. If all of them are always same, that means what you can apply a trick that take I, J, K, V. What is velocity vector? 2, 4, 6. And for magnetic field, and obviously it have to be equals to 4I minus of 20J plus of 12K. Obviously it have to be equals to that force. So what you can know do that if all the four options are following the same pattern, that means take it as some x, and take the second one j cap also as x and take this as y. Now you can easily solve it. It will be very easily solve it. Just take, I hope that you know how to solve these kind of questions. This is I, this is j. That means what you'll be writing? 4y minus of 6x. This is for I cap. Now minus of j cap. How will be solving it? 2y minus of 6x again. This is j cap. Now compare both only because two equations already you have two variables also you have. Here it is 4i. That means what I can say that 4y minus of 6x is equals to 4. And the second equation what you can say? Second equation, it is equals to 20. Here that means I can say 2y minus of 6x is equals to 20. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. Solve two equation, two variable, answer. Solve it. What you can do? Just take a subtraction. Taking a subtraction will give you what? 4 minus 2, that means 2y. 4 minus 16, that means what? Minus of 16. That means y is equals to what? Y is equals to, it will be minus of 8. Y is equals to minus of 8. Y is equals to minus of 8. Either option 2 or either option 4. Now you have to calculate x as well. Calculate x. For calculating x, what you can do? Take this 6x from equation 2 I am taking. 6x is equals to 2y, that means minus of 16 and minus of 20. How it will become? It will become minus of 36 divided by 6. That means minus of 6. That means option 2 is what? Correct. Two equation, two variable question. Okay. So this paper had lengthy. This paper had been lengthy paper. If we will take a summary of this complete whatever you have learned till now, this paper was comparatively lengthy, you can say, as compared to paper that was came in 2022, 23 as well, and 24 was actually very easy. Correct? Let's solve the next one. 27 drops of same size are charged at 220 volt. 27 drops of same size and charge are dropped. They combine to form a bigger drop. Calculate the potential of the bigger drop. You have to calculate the potential of the bigger drop, how much it will become. So firstly, you have to always apply volume conservation. What I can say that volume conservation says that 27 volume of the small drops is equals to one bigger drop. From this, what I can say, what is the relation that I will have? R is equals to 3 times of the smaller. And what is the potential that I can write? Potential V dash is equals to K into Q dash divided by R dash. This is what I can write. Correct? So just put the value K. Effectively, how much the charge will become? Can I say it will become 27Q? Initial charges 27 times, and R dash new bigger, it can be written as 3R. That means I can write 9 times of 220. 9 times of 220, that's it. When you will solve it, it will be coming as 9 to 18. I can say option 4 should be correct. Option 4 is correct. Simply. Clear? Doubt? Very good. This one. Next question. A uniform conducting wire of length 12A and resistance R is wound up as a current carrying coil in the shape. Firstly, it is rounded in equilateral triangle and then in a square of side A. The magnetic dipole moments of the coil in each case represent. You have to calculate magnetic dipole moment. So firstly, tell me what is the total length is 12A. Now this uniform wire is rotated into it. That means how many number of turns you will say? How many number of turns of a equilateral triangle? That means in one side how much the number of turns will be divided by 3. It will be number of turns will be 4, and for the square side how many number of turns will be there? Can you say it will be nothing but 3? Correct. Now you just have to calculate the magnetic moment. Firstly, for what you want to calculate equilateral triangle, formula is I into n into a. I same, n is 4. Area of the rectangle will be root 3 by 4 a square. 4 cancel, answer will be root under 3 I a square. That's it. Now magnetic moment for the second one, that is a square of side A. It will be I into n will be 3, and area will be a square, 3 I a square. Option. Which option? Option. Correct. Correct. Very good. Solve this question. Next one. Easy question. Rotation, moment of inertia. Solve this one. From a circular ring of mass m and radius r, an arc corresponding to 90-degree sector have been removed. That means what, there was a mass m ring was present, and from that 90 degree of the sector is removed. This complete sector is removed. Now you have to tell what will be the moment of inertia from an axis passing from the center perpendicular to the surface. This is what you have to tell. Correct. Some mr dash square will be there. You have to calculate that what will be the factor of k times, how many times it will become. Correct. So if you remove this much of the mass, what is the remaining mass? I can say if you are removing m minus m by 4, that means how much it will become? Can I say 3m by 4? 3m by 4 mass will be left, and I can say all these masses are at the equal distance from the axis from where I want to calculate. So what I can say about the moment of inertia, mr square, that means equals to 3m by 4 into r square. That means from mr square was the original moment of inertia. How much times it have become? 3 by 4 times. 3 by 4 times. Which option is coming correct? Option 1. Simple. What is the formula of moment of inertia? Mr square. For the ring also it is mr square. So I just check the what is the remaining mass. That's it. That is what it happens. Correct. Next question. Check the question. What the question is saying. Two conducting circular loops of radius r1 and R2 are placed in the same plane with their centers coinciding, and R1 is greater than R2. R1 is greater than R2. This is R1. Okay, sorry, this is R2, this is R1. The mutual inductance M between them will be directly proportional to. You have to calculate the mutual inductance. How you can calculate the mutual inductance things? See, the concept is flux on 1 due to 2. If you will write, it will be M into I1. Correct? I will be writing the flux in the loop 2. Okay, and let's suppose some current I is flowing here, I1. Okay. Now, how you write flux is equals to B into area. B, the magnetic field, that is the feeling by the smaller loop. That means how I can write that magnetic field directly. I'm writing the result mu naught into I1 divided by 2 into R2, because the radius is what, R2. Fine, is equals to sorry, area also you have to write. That means it will be pi of R1 square. Further, now it is equals to M into I1. M into I1, I1 cancel. Now what I can say, M is proportional to, because the options are only for proportionality. It R1 square divided by R2. R1 square divided by R2. Option 3. Sorry, the radius is R2. No, sorry. This will be R2, and now it is fine. This is due to R1. Sorry, I have exchanged it by mistake. That means it is not the correct answer. R2 square by R1. Option 4. Clear? Always we used to write the flux of the smaller one, and it is easy to write on the smaller one due to the, because it is just feeling the effect of the bigger one. So write all the effects of the bigger one on the of magnetic field on the smaller one. Write the area of the smaller one. That's it. How you can write the mutual inductance. Clear? It is also a kind of class example. We used to write a lot of these kind of examples. Correct? Good paper was, yeah. 2021 was actually good paper. Next question. A particle moving in a circle of radius r with a uniform speed takes a time t. Okay. To complete one revolution. This value is given. Okay, fine. Let's see what the question is trying to actually ask. If the particle were projected with the same speed at an angle theta to the horizontal, the maximum height attained by it equals to 4r. The angle of projection theta is what you have to calculate. So what is h max? Maximum height, it is equals to u square sine square theta divided by 2g. Correct? And what is the maximum height? It is given equals to 4r, equals to 4r. But what is this u I can define as, whenever, because this value data is given in the circular motion, u can be defined as 2 pi r, the radius, divided by the time period. Correct? So now just replace it here, you'll have your answer. Replacing it here will make it how much? 4 pi square r square sine square theta divided by 2g is equals to 4r. 4 तो पहले cancel, then r cancel. That means sine theta can be written as 2g divided by pi square r. There will be t square term also, t square term also. That means here it will multiply t square. This is sine square theta. Now you have to make under root as well. Make under root. I think so. Option 4 is coming correct. Option 4 will be coming correct. 2gt square divided by pi square r, and there is an under root. Option 4 is coming correct. Just after that, you don't need to solve this question. Is it clear? So this was all about your 2020. One paper is also now completed. In next session, whenever we'll be having, we'll take the 2020 paper, and then we'll discuss what are the level of the question, how the question should be solved, what will be the approaches, all the things again we are going to discuss in the next session. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing with Tapasya, Endigu and Dendigu Nama Tapasya.